Cheers to 2022 and resolutions you can actually keep. How about having clean and shiny balls all year round? Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to save your balls this year and make the ball drop into 2022 the cleanest and sexiest ever. Set your first New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use code FALCON for 20% off and free shipping. Guys, Danny, we're back. Danny, welcome again to Mob Rules with Danny, as always.
John, we're not just back, we're so back.
Dude, we're old school back. We're on that every other week release schedule again, thanks to you crazy bastards and our friends at Manscaped. You guys used our code, helped us out, and now they're paying us to keep going. So thank you.
Yeah.
We
John,
appreciate that. Yeah, hello.
We've now morphed wholly into the realm of, I don't want to do it unless you give me money for it. Is that true? Do you think that's accurate?
Mob Rules, of course, the Fuck You, Pay Me podcast. And, you know...
That's so weird. Like, why is it not the other way around?
For sure, right? And then, as with everything that happens when a company sells out, as we have, along comes Seth. Hey, Seth the Mad Dok.
Hey, how's it going?
That's the smooth transition to having you here.
I am a sellout, renowned for it, actually.
Dude, it's so yeah.
How long until you guys are like the Joe Rogans of 40K?
I hope immediately.
Dude, like technically we are now, I would say, because name another 40K podcast that has an energy drink sponsorship.
Yep.
We keep forgetting about that, but thanks to our friends at Raised Energy,
There's no D on that, buddy.
Oh, dude, there's a D because of Manscaped. You can see the D in Raise Energy.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're the most selly out podcast, which when Spiky Bits has its own podcast is like a weird fucking take.
I know.
It is.
John, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of how far you've brought the Rogue Trader Network, which is now just basically you guys.
Dude, that's so we just, I mean, dude, we're just, there's no notes, there's no schedule anymore. Well, there's a schedule, there's no plan. But yeah, Seth, we originally started kind of chatting a while back when you were doing another podcast, which is named Redacted. We decided to team up in our own network to help each other grow. And it was Mob Rules.
Yeah.
Dangly Redacteds.
Yep.
There was High Lords of Terra.
Yeah.
And there was NZ40 Shabal.
Yes.
And
we teamed up to take down what network? That was the question.
What was the network we teamed up to take down?
The Frontline Gaming Network.
Dude, I forgot about that part. Yeah, so
yes, that was the plan because that was the only other network at the time. Yeah, we were like, we're going to make our own network.
That was our own play. We were going to make our own network to compete with a big company like Frontline.
Immediately sell out.
Immediately.
They came knocking. They're like, you boys want to join? We're like, yes, please, sir.
Sure.
So yeah, immediately Seth and Shelby poached for Signals from the Frontline, the reboot. Me and Danny poached for 2 or 3 different projects until we get stuck with the one we're worst at. High Lords.
We're not bad at that. I think
we're pretty good.
You found your legs.
We found our niche now. High Lords went on an indefinite hiatus because Michael Tempe made his own game and decided he didn't like 40K, as did the other house, which very appropriate for 40K that the High Lords had a complete and utter disdain for the Imperium and everything that it fights for and against.
True.
That makes a lot of sense.
NZ40 Shabal splintered into 2 separate entities.
Yeah.
You guys heard of the New Zealand Wars?
I've not. Tell us about it, John.
So some of the guys left NZ40 Shabal to form Kraken Wargaming, who have their own things like that. NZ40 Shabal still goes occasionally, I guess technically still in the network. They are at this point the most regular up until we got paid by a pube company to talk more.
What, you'll give us $25 to record? Hell yeah, let's get on that train.
I'll give you 26 to not.
Dude, you have no idea how quickly we will sell out. We will absolutely take you up on that.
Where's the outro music?
Yeah. Cool. Wait,
This episode sponsored by Seth.
So,
See ya.
See you guys. Have a good night.
we were talking, and I think I'm going to call this episode the Unholy Trinity, because that's one of my favorite group names. We were talking about how post LVO, literally every single person on Grim After Dark is going to be on a plane or traveling or away from technology. My thing that I want to do to celebrate that is at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, start a wait screen. And it's going to say 12 hours till showtime. And it's just going to count down with the music on a loop.
Oh, God.
For 12 hours. And then when the timer runs out and says starting soonish, it'll just replace with episode canceled.
Wow.
It's powerful. It's on brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my big idea for our week. We probably won't be recording anything.
You could, just like tell people you're not recording. That's what we did this week. Kicker was just like, nah, we're not doing it this week. And I was like, sounds good.
But there's so much news this week. People are overreacting about Tau. Like,
It's true. Oh, man.
Oh,
Group
what?
chats have
Really?
exploded.
Overreactions?
holy shit. Oh my God. One guy is going to be really, really dead.
Is that one guy my kill rig?
Yeah. Well, how many wounds has your kill rig got?
16.
So no. So it kills maybe half to the majority of a kill rig, right, Danny? I'm not a math guy. I don't know these things.
Maybe.
Yeah,
There's a
see,
lot of
that's
failure
science and
points.
fact. But it's one shot from Tau. I think the army only second to orcs in shooting power.
It's true.
Yeah. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see how this goes.
Well, what I think...
Because
Go.
if they don't make them high ballistic skill, like if they're like BS4, even BS3 with not many ways to get +1, it's like, all right, you got like 3 of those. You're going to get like 2 of those to hit. Maybe 1 doesn't wound, Okay. If they're they're BS2
it's
reroll.
strength 16, so it's,
Their strength. All right. First of all, you guys are all wrong. Unless they change the stats on the hammerhead, which I severely doubt they're ballistic skill 3+, right?
Yeah.
And they get a natural reroll to hit if they take the targeting link, which they probably will if they're attacking the railgun.
Look, I was trying to be optimistic, Danny.
No, I am. This is optimistic, believe me. So one of them hits like 89% of the time, roughly, right? With a reroll to hit on 3+. But then it only wounds like 83% of the time from that. So like really you're dropping roughly like 20%. So there's like a 20% chance it just doesn't even get to the wounding stage to hurt you. So it's just like, to me, it feels like people are just worried about this. Like they're worried about like a Vindicare Assassins when they came out and people were taking a bunch of them. Like you would just like be able to wipe out your opponent's characters, no problem. But like it didn't end up working out that way. And it doesn't matter, even though it hits on a 2 and wounds on a 2. Like it's like whatever.
Remember when the harpoon cannon came out for the Imperial Knights and everyone's like, ooh, damage 12, flat damage 12, and those have set the competitive world on fire.
I mean, in my heart, they have.
Danny's like, my heart still burns for the cannon. Give me that sweet harpoon, baby.
Though I did
give me that sweet poon.
It gave me.
That's what I always say.
This really did give me a great idea for a little skit I want to try and do, where Tim Pinney and the BiffPod Discord had said the hammerheads were sold out in the UK, but they were still available in America because America was still waiting for the press conference from Richard Siegler to say if they were good or not. So I just want to have a skit where we keep cutting to a press conference, and it's just like, nothing but the backdrop, like at an NFL game.
Yeah, the podium with the microphone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Art of War logos on the drop behind it.
Still waiting to see if we should buy Long Strike or not.
Like that's why they're 6 months ahead. You guys, let's get it right,
because we don't all listen to one person.
Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway.
This is a question for both of you, because we're just kind of fucking around now. If you guys had the influence and power of a Richard Siegler, where people were literally making hundreds of dollars of purchases based on your suggestions, how much would you abuse that and just be
too
like,
late, John? I already have that much power.
I would abuse it and suggest that the smoothest path to victory is through a cleanly shorn crotch.
Oh, solid.
Oh man,
yeah.
It's a little early for a transition.
Smooth.
It's a little early for the transition to the big read about things. And I will say, thanks to our friend at Manscaped, we do have an amazing story we want to share. about how one person went to a tournament and had to leave early because of testicle-related injuries. They can be prevented.
It can be prevented
With promo code Falcon, manscaped.com. But we will talk about that later.
Or
Seth,
some baby powder.
LVO, currently 30 days away as of publishing date, less than that. How is it going for you, big guy? With all of your fun, like extracurricular, veterinary, and school activities, and your.
I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I went into a bit of a list spiral last week. When they dropped the new Nidzilla stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've been pretty active on TTS because there's no one to play with anywhere near me, because my play partner had COVID. So much for my sparring partner. He's fine, by the way.
Okay.
That's a really shitty
Yeah.
way to
But
beat your opponent with mind games by giving them COVID beforehand. Because we know with your access to birds, you have access to all the strains of COVID.
That's really
It's
fucking
true.
rich coming from you, John. Like, to be honest, as a Death Guard player,
Move.
Really?
Oh, sir.
No.
Excuse
Sir,
you.
He's a Templar player.
I have very strong feelings about the Maltese cross.
you could have fucking fooled me. I've never seen you bust those models out
Actually,
even once.
maybe we should clarify. He is a Black Templar owner.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did
That's
sit today and be like, can I convince my wife to let me spend like $500 to get someone else to paint this shit so I don't have to?
No, I went into a list spiral for a while trying to figure out how to deal with Nidzilla and the updated version of Thick City, and I've reached a point where I just said, screw it, I'm taking kill rigs and that's it. I don't care if they're not going to work. It's just fun to shove big models across the table. And then they were like, and look, here comes railguns, and I was like, good, this is the last time I get to use those models.
That's fair.
I like that your way of defeating these lists is to see if they have a preset kill limit and just throw waves and waves of your own vehicle into them.
Exactly.
And then hope for the best. Danny, you said you built a monolith today. How's your LVO prep going?
Medium to poor.
How many milligrams of models did you do today?
Milligrams.
Hundreds, John, hundreds.
Hundreds.
And so I have a lot of I have a lot of destroyers that I still need to work on. I did order the last of my models. I ordered 4 more heavy destroyers this morning on eBay. So
Dude, that's $100 a pain.
What's that?
That's $100 a pain you ordered right there.
Yeah, so I'm considering a 9 heavy destroyer list for LVO. Like, I have them 9 heavy destroyers and a monolith, like, just because I feel like those are going to be my targets. So I don't know. I think I have a good shot at killing a bunch of shit with that list.
Let's not play and say we did.
So what's the game
Oh
plan?
yeah, Seth, let's play, dude.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
nice.
So yeah, you're just like high strength gun the game. Is kind of what you're going for there, right?
Yeah, dude. It's
He's
9
the proto railguns.
proto. Fuck off, dude. These are the real deal.
Proto
So
means
railgun is
before,
just
idiot.
Off. Yeah, I know, but it also means it's more primitive, and it's clearly
It's
not.
like Russian Tau, where it's
Do
Necrons,
you
where
ignore
they're
invulns? Do you cause mortal wounds just for wounding?
if he cheats, he does.
Sounds like you're more primitive to me.
There was an eye roll.
I'm not gonna argue with you, Seth. Your lack of knowledge of the background of the game is as disappointing as your head is smooth. Much like my testicles.
Thanks, Manscaped. Promo code Falcon.
I almost said we should compare who's smoother, but I don't want to look at that image.
So that's if we don't hit our sales goals we've been provided by manscaped.com, we will all compare testicles on the next video cast, and you'll only have yourself to blame. We will not do that. That is awful.
I was like, you guys do a video cast? Crap, I'm turning my camera off.
I was tempted to try and set one up for this actually, but then it was like, no, I don't. I like sitting in my closet of shame without the green screen around. It's happy times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danny, you ordered a bunch of models. Seth, you're like, fuck it, kill rig.
Yeah.
That's,
How about you, John?
What have you been doing?
dude? So I took the afternoon off. I got the sitter in. I was like set time aside. I was gonna sit and just put my Black Templar contrast all over those guys. Yeah, at least 40 Marine models I need to have painted, at least black painted. And then I sat and watched Book of Boba Fett. And then I played a little Halo Infinite. And then I watched some YouTube.
And then you were like, crap, it's time to record.
Then I was like, crap, it's time for wrestling, and I can't
That
miss
was Boba
wrestling.
Fett.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Like that's an entire like. If they could just make all Star Wars westerns now, I would be happy forever. And if we could avoid Solo and Rogue One-esque things and just make them westerns, that's all I want from here on out.
Could they make a 40K western?
They could. You would have to. I feel.
Yeah. Easy.
The best 40K Western style movie would be about someone in a gene stealer cult. And they're like, that's the series I want to see, is like your fucking ground level troop in a gene stealer cult who's living their daily life and going to their secret like handshake meetings at nights and just,
I think that's too obscure.
From afar.
I think it would be hard to be relatable in that.
And they're working the machine with the two hands, jerking off with the claw because it's got to be hidden.
Because it's HBO.
Yeah, it's HBO Max.
How are we working Henry Cavill into this? Come on,
dude. Okay,
it's a patriarch.
In all honesty, Henry Cavill has been worked into so many fucking things. But look, this attractive, muscular man likes nerd shit. Look at the nerd shit. Look,
let's make him do some nerd stuff.
Yeah.
And now every interview is, tell me about your nerdy things. We don't know. Wink. Which is great. Like I said, I still feel he's a better Horus than anything else. But that's just me. I enjoy the kind of the site we're getting, and I guess the people looking in, and Graham Norton, I guess, we'll probably get a fun segment from that where he plays a game of Kill Team or something like that. But it's a lot of good free publicity for GW the past couple of months from celebrities. Yeah.
We are the real 40K celebrities.
God, that's that's the worst fucking term. I have to say, we were like, I asked for a new copy for like our corporate gig because I'm like, hey, we've been promoting this one for a month. What do you want me to talk about? And then when I heard, Seth, you're taking part in a meet and greet at an event.
I am.
Apparently so. Let me give you like a little
Kicker
preview.
Volunteer me for more things.
Dude, always. And this is why it's a benefit to live very far away and be bad, because people will never want you for stuff. Here we go. So the copy. Magic Mara, Seth and Kicker from Signals from the front line. Of course, yours truly, assuming you will be there. It's Cherokee. Let's plug Cherokee again and state we are adding a fun meet and greet at one of the bars on Thursday night, and we would love for everyone to come and hang out.
I did tell him he should do that.
Yeah, see, that's your fault now. So now you're gonna.
I have ideas and I give them to him, and sometimes he does them, and sometimes he doesn't.
So Seth, you've been doing Signals for like 6 months now. I think we're all in the timeline where we've been doing this kind of weekly grind for 6 months.
It's kind of all blurred together, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really has. I mean, what are some standout moments from you from Signals? Because when we were first talking, we first sold out our network to join the network we tried to topple.
I mean, did we sell out or did we just infiltrate it?
Dude, we bought in. We didn't sell out. We bought in. That's all that matters. That's the lingo. You were super excited, and you're like, I'm going to beat Reese's record. And you had, do you still remember how many episodes of Signals Reese did?
2, right? That was his record.
That was the record? It's 2 episodes?
It was like 600 some.
I feel it was more.
Probably.
How has the experience on Signals been? Now it's been 6 months, different than what you thought it would be kind of going into it.
It's always a challenge to corral Kicker.
He's a very excitable man.
I knew that was it's the behind the scenes, because like on camera, whatever, I can shove him along, but he's like he has 1,000 ideas, like, and it's just like, oh wow, crap. What are we doing this week? 47 ideas, and I'm like, pick one, and we're doing that, okay? So that's been a challenge, just trying to keep him on task. But it's been fun interacting with the community. I've never done anything where I've had a live chat, so it's been cool to interact with the live chat.
Dude, isn't that the weirdest thing?
Yeah. People tuning in for a specific time to talk to you.
Like for me, like even though like Val produces our show, and he's like, okay, guys, we got like 12 people waiting for you, and we're like, why? But anyway, Seth,
how do you guys handle him on a weekly basis? I have to ask.
Danny, do you want to answer this? I have a very well thought out response to this, but Danny, do you want to go with this one here first?
Yeah, it's just so while John is coming up with his well thought out response, I'm going to elaborate on how I feel and not buy any time at all.
Danny, if you need me to buy time, I can tell you about my experience with Val behind the camera.
Well, Val likes to tinker, and he doesn't sometimes know exactly what he's tinkering with. It can have.
Would you say
huge
sometimes his
downstream
tinkering
ramifications.
causes problems?
I mean, occasionally, I wouldn't call him a gremlin. But
would you call him a Gremlins 2, the new batch?
No, I would not.
I would say, and then we can kind of go back to you, Seth. Here, Val is as big a component on our show as myself or Danny.
Oh, absolutely.
With what he adds and what he brings. And it's really like a huge collaborative effort between the three of us, which is why like I have a hard time really not crediting him for that. And yeah, there's going to be times where like he's in your ear like, ask him this, hey, ask him this, follow up on that. And you kind of shut it out a little bit. But like if you look at some of the stuff that's come out of our show, thanks to Val, is the Serval puppet that talks, which has led to Frontline Gaming Network being invaded by puppets literally everywhere. And then he is a perfectionist who strives he's Icarus in podcasting form. He flies super high and wants to soar, but man, that sun's real hot sometimes.
Yeah, I'd agree to that.
Are you saying he's gonna crash and burn though? Like,
oh, dude, we're gonna take him down in flames. He knows that. He's just waiting for it to happen.
He's got his golden parachute ready.
Yeah, and what's super funny as well,
it's 90% of the secondhand store actually.
But it's what's also fun is when Richard Guest produces, because Val's a super busy man who does literally any stream in the U.S. that has a person that isn't Joe from War Games Live, and Richard will come in.
Also, Joe, he works with Joe too.
He does, yeah. Rich will come in and he'll be like, why is this button press like this? Why are this keyboard short? Why when I press B does the entire system shut down? And that's pretty fun, seeing that kind of response there too. But your show, Seth, is mostly produced by Rich.
Yeah, Rich is like he's real. Like I wouldn't say hands off. Like he still is like he's doing things in the background and he hops in when we need him to. And if there's something going on in chat we need to know about, he'll let us know. But he doesn't get in your ear a lot, if you know what I mean. Like he's not like, hey, I'm gonna give you advice right now. And when Richard needs some time off and Val covers for him, I struggle sometimes when Val's going off in my ear and I'm trying to talk to Kicker and our guest or chat, and I'm just like, could you shut up right now, Val, while I try to think? You'll see me lock up when that happens, where I'll just like, okay, and because I'm just like I can't keep going with talking and listening and thinking.
What is the worst disaster that's happened to your show? Danny and I had the Nanavati incident, but what's the worst things happened on Signals?
I would 100% say it's when I try to talk about the ITC rules.
Oh no, really?
Oh, do you mean the public apology?
Yes, that. Yes.
Wait, what?
You do? Dude, you have to watch Signals. It's great. It's like a soap opera.
So for a while, we had been hearing about what the new season of ITC rules were going to be. And I was hearing a lot of this through Kicker. And then I kept saying, like, well, we need to get, Big Papa Reese on and have him go through it. And, that'll be a cool episode. Everyone will be real excited for it. And it was just like, it was really a scheduling conflict because that's like Reese's late night, like when he works late. So it's like really tough to get him on Wednesday nights. Okay. And so I had messaged him and I was like, hey man, can we just like start telling people about stuff? And he's like, yeah, man, you're good. And then I started talking about what I believed the rules were as they were relayed to me by other people. And apparently Val, because this was a Val night, had a different set of rules relayed to him, which caused a lot of conflict as he's shouting in my ear that I'm wrong. Kicker's not allowed to say anything. And then we get off the air and Kicker's like, no, Seth is right. And then the next morning, Papa Reese is like, no, you wrong. And I'm like, if someone would have given me notes, I'd have just read those, but no one did. So I had to go off what I knew, which was from Kicker, which apparently was old information. So
Kicker
I got shouted down a
loop.
lot on that show. And then Val edited the show with a voiceover of basically Val being like, so everything Seth says is wrong, and here's the real stuff. So I just said, from now on, I don't talk about ITC. And fortunately, Adam Solis, I saw him at NOLA, and he was like, you know what? From now on, if you want to talk about ITC stuff and you can't get the Big Pop on, you just call me and I'll come on and talk about it. And I'm like, good, because that's not me.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Adam Solis, by the way, nice segue, is going to be on Grim After Dark this Monday to kick off LVO month.
True.
Very excited. We're going to ask him. I think we'll have a segment, Danny, where we just ask him questions to try and enrage him as a judge. Be like, no, is this on an objective? No, he nudged it.
I don't know that you can get that man angry as a judge. I've been to several events now with him, and I mean, he calls himself the cooler because he basically is like, there's other judges at the event that handle most of the stuff, but when like someone gets really like bent out of shape, they're like, all right, bring in Adam. And Adam just like, here's the rules, deal with it, and walks away.
Dude, Seth, we've started kind of a rivalry between our two shows for
Yes.
mainly the reason that I want to pop you. I want to just make you be like, you piece of shit. And like that's the reaction I go for most weeks. When did you first start notice that I didn't have any better material?
I'm not going to lie, guys. I might not view every episode of Grimm.
I think
and
Danny's being like, oh, you messed up ITC rules? Was kind of, a sign.
See, where it's okay. So as an aside, when you produce a boatload of content, you stop consuming content after a while because you're just like,
dude, for real.
I'm plugged in all the time. I don't want my like relaxation time to be, and let me listen to more content. You're like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever weekend I was like, hey, cease and desist, stop doing that crap. Although when you guys have good ones, I do show them to my wife, and she gets a good kick out of them.
So I will say, we did produce, or I did order, especially for LVO, where Danny and I will be doing the Long War doubles again. Stickers of the cease and desist thumbnail, which we'll be presenting to our opponents with zero like follow up or
explanation.
Yeah. Just be like, hey man, don't mention this dude's name. It's blank.
We're not allowed to talk about it during this game.
I
just got I like the sticker idea. I just got artist proof back for the stickers the kicker and I are doing for LVO.
Nice.
Oh shit! How many are you getting?
Oh, we haven't gone that far in figuring that out, but I could probably message him tonight.
I got like 10 because I assumed.
Oh, I think we're going to be in the thousands is our plan.
Oh, shit. People don't like us though. They like you. They like Kicker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to force them to like us by like probably putting them in all the swag bags.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I've been trying to talk
Kicker
them.
and I is Shrek and Donkey.
I've been trying to talk them into putting style guides, like just notebooks with a style guide front in every swag bag. But that is a sizable investment. It's just blank paper inside because everyone gets one. But I thought that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be cool.
But I do nothing but
if
throw
you
out.
could save up some sponsorship money for next LVO.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah. Well, right now, actually, is me looking at what other events I can make it to this year. Because one is not enough, and Alaska's an awful place. But
it's a distant place.
it is a distant place. Guys,
Hey, John,
yo,
do you want to hear something awesome?
what's that?
I found out there's a GT like an hour and a half from me next weekend.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say when. Is it like February or March? I might be able to make it. But next week.
But yeah, and it had spots still, so I snuck on in there. I'm pretty
You
excited.
son of a bitch. You son of a
Ooh,
bitch.
you slipped on in the back door, didn't you?
Slipped on in. Guys, we reached the halfway point of the show, which is our cue to talk about our balls. Guys, we'll be right back with Seth and Danny talking about all things Warhammer related here. But what I want to talk to you about is the new grooming routines we're going to try in 2022, one of which is going to be preventing chafed balls. What many of you don't know, we did have a friend, we went to a giant tournament. They had to drop round 2 out of 6 in a 3-day event because their balls were chafing so badly from standing at the table. And that is not a thing you want to happen to you when you're spending money on airfare, hotel room, tournament tickets. This is a multi-$1,000 investment, all ruined just because of some unfortunate sweat. However, it's new year, new me with the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Take your package to the next level with their Performance Package 4.0 and the brand new Ultra Premium Body Wash. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you will find the signature Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on your loose skin. The advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate nuts. It also comes equipped with a 4,000K LED spotlight that will shine a light to the promised land 2022 looks to be. A grooming routine isn't complete without applying Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. Before showing off your 2022 self, These unique formulations take care of the smelliest parts of your body and are a big boost to your confidence into the new year and help prevent unfortunate chafing accidents, as we talked about earlier here. To complete the set, Manscaped threw in their shed travel bag, which I love, and anti-chafing boxer briefs, which just fit you snugly, as free gifts to keep all your goodies stored comfortably. And the new product that needs no introduction, the Ultra Premium Body Wash from Manscaped, solves all three for the perfect addition to your daily grooming routine. But in the shower, I shower every day. Really, I hope you do too. We're all nerds, but let's kind of trying to knock past that stereotype. And this body wash smells great. It's cologne infused with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean, nice, and moisturized. Kick discomfort and poor hygiene to the curb this year and use the best tools for the job. Whether your resolution is to work out more, travel to new places, attend more tournaments, be sure to travel to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping with the code FALCON. Cheers to new balls in 2022. And that's getting 20% off and free shipping with the code FALCON at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping, manscaped.com, using the code FALCON. It's new year, no pubes in 2022 with Manscaped.
Earl Hagen was a legend. In 1960, he whistled his way into Hollywood and into our hearts. Decades later, he made a comeback, lending those lustrous lips in the 1980s to such bands as the Scorpions, Guns N' Roses, and Pat Benatar. A half-century after his humble beginnings, he's at it again. This time without cumbersome musical accompaniment, he'll have you wetting your whistle and whistling along. His new album, Earl Whistles Disney, is sure to be a hit with all generations. Order now and receive a bonus album, Earl Whistles More Shit, a collection of previously unreleased material of Earl's favorite songs through the years. On this bonus album, he demonstrates his newly mastered technique of inward whistling. Order yours today on compact disc or double-length cassette. Also available at fine retailers such as Walgreens, CVS, and participating Sam Goody stores. Earl Whistles Disney. Buy it today.
And that's get 20% off and free shipping with the code FALCON at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code FALCON. It's new year, no pubes in 2022 with Manscaped TM.
Whistle yourself up a good deal.
Go, man. And we're so back. Hey, guys, thanks for letting me do that little mid-roll break there to talk about our balls. And again, once again,
friends' balls.
Guys, I think what's more insane than Manscaped reaching out to us for sponsorship is you wonderful listeners all deciding that shorn balls are the best way to support our podcast. I also want to thank our Patreons who also support our podcast through all of this. Yeah,
for some reason. Thanks, guys.
God, yeah. Please, just don't. Please cancel your Patreon immediately. You should not be giving us money. This is not good content whatsoever. Fuck, you're stealing my bits. That's how it is.
Who, me or Seth?
Both of you guys. You're both just slurping on the microphone there, and that's kind of my bit. Danny, I asked Seth this. Dude, do you have a Fresca? You watching The Boys? Mm-hmm. That's quality. Danny, how has your first 6 months been on the Frontline Gaming Network as a talking head celebrity?
John, let me tell you.
Literal talking head.
As a TV.
Yes.
The man trapped inside of the TV, I can say.
It's a weird complaint we got.
People are fucking bitches, dude. I don't know. Like, it's crazy to me how much people whine about like the stupidest shit, and then like we end up talking about it every day or every week. Like, just the worst, terrible whines that people have. Why do you guys even play this game? And then like the complaints about over our set, like we're like the stupidest fucking complaints.
Dude, the happiest I think I've ever seen Val is when one random person in chat 6 months in left a message, was like, wow, I love that set. So imaginative. I saw him punch the air. And that's
made his day.
It made his life. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to take away from his wife and child, but his life was made by that moment there.
Sounds right.
But yeah, so how has it been for you? And kind of what are some of the high points, the low points, kind of everything in between?
It was interesting talking to some of the people who we had on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like some definitely high profile players, and cool to talk about kind of some of their backstories and what things are going on currently. I really liked the player place terrain episode that we did with Tim. I thought that was really great.
That was one. Was that when we devolved down to whether it was pot or what was the other one, or poop?
Poop.
Yeah, it's pot or poop. And it was weird seeing pot take off on the rest of we started seeing mentioned. Yeah.
Trendsetters, you guys are really.
Sure.
Dude, if I can make one weird ass joke be referenced in one other place, I don't even care if it's multiple people that pick up on it. That pops me.
I would say the low point for me, John.
Sure.
Has been the change to a more regularly scheduled program. And that's been kind of an adjustment for me. Like, we could kind of finagle mob rules around a little bit during the week, right?
Sure.
As long as we got it done before Saturday, it was done, right?
Right.
But we don't have time for that right now. It has to be done every night because we're live every week and not every other week. So it's been a significant time increase. And I'm the guy who doesn't do any of the pre-work unlike you do. So I can't imagine how much extra of your time it takes up. If I'm feeling like it's taking up my time, I can't imagine.
So, and Seth, I want to hear your thoughts on what you do here for Signals and kind of how your week is adjusted. Because I know from your time with Dangly Redacteds, you did a whole shitload of prep. You did notes, you got everything ready to go. For me, for Grim, starting on Tuesday, I just comb Facebook, comb Reddit, comb Twitter for random shit that I find funny, and then I'll post it to a group chat we're in. And then Sunday night, I usually work till 9:30 p.m. I get home at 10 p.m. And then 10:30ish to 11:30ish, I comb through all of the weird shit I've posted throughout the week and knock it down to the ones that I can work into a joke easiest. And that takes about 30 minutes. And then I send it off to the guys, and come Monday, that we record. But that's really the only kind of time commitment I have is my Sunday nights of, oh shit, I got to do notes. And I mean, I love the show. I love doing it. But my reaction every single Sunday, and my wife is like, why do you react like that all the time? I'm like, because I don't want to do it, but I do. But Seth, I mean, you have so many more notes. I look for shitty memes on the internet. You have to go through player rankings for 40K, Age of Sigmar. You have to justify why certain people are top of the hobby track when they've just paid thousands of dollars to have airbrush jizz on their army. You have all of this stuff to prep for. What does your week look like?
So
not naming names in that one, but
Okay, well, I try it on a good week. I try to start. We have a template for our notes, which helps because then it's just here's the template, plug in the info. And Kicker takes we divided up, Kicker and I. So Kicker takes the industry news, what did GW release? What is going on with FLG? I take, what's going on with the network. And so I'll go through and try to, Sunday or Monday, I'll try to go through and skim okay, what's the other shows talking about? I try to wait until Tuesday to update the competitive track because sometimes they like to dump the updates on Tuesday, and then if I do it earlier, then I'm like, crap, I have to redo all that and pull all the names, and figure out whatever it is I want to talk about for the competitive segment. The thing that always is the hardest for us is our we call it's labeled in our notes the tabletop talk segment, but I don't think we ever call it that. It's just our main segment. And that's always a moving target. What are we going to do this week? Is there because there's been weeks where it's we don't know what to do. Let's go get a guest. And then there's some weeks where it's okay, yeah, GW dumped a huge amount of stuff, and we're just going to talk about that in that period. So some weeks it's written for us, but some weeks it's we've been trying to get Steven Box on for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is he's in the UK and he's off by 8 hours, and we record at night.
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning UK time usually 3:30 in the morning UK time when usually.
Yeah, so it's we really want to do it, but we have to do that'll be we have to do a pre-record if we want to do that. So that's most of our work is just figuring out what the main segment is going to be, and if we have a guest, without fail, Godspeed for you guys having a guest every week, because without fail, whenever we decide we're going to have a guest, it just turns into a game of Kicker, Val, Richard, and I all thinking that someone else is handling the guest. And then about an hour before the show, the guest being so what am I doing? Where am I going? What do I need? And then we're oh shit. Yeah.
Let me tell you, and this is fascinating listening for all of our listeners here. Google Calendars is like your best friend. That's how I do our guests generally, is I will send a Google Calendar invite and tag every single other person in there. And we've only had one person as a request, and everyone else has been kind of people we've thrown in. That's been pretty fun. Especially trying to get like something new. Like I know like an episode we struggled with a little bit, but was fun overall. We talked to Marshall Peterson after, was that Dallas or was that Florida? It was one of the GW events.
Is the one he did with Necron?
Yeah, but it was kind of like, we're like, well, we were looking
I think it was Lone Star he did.
Oh, yeah. We're looking at like who we can talk to. And it was coming down for after a couple of months, be like, well, do we want to talk to like the same 3 people from Art of War every 2 weeks? Or do we want to kind of like go along? And so like kind of looking for someone interesting and someone like kind of different that goes out there. That's been strange. Yeah. We're just trying to find people, because usually when we do like these episodes, like Marlboro's like, we'll ask you, we'll ask friends, people we have like experience with, so we can kind of like vibe a lot easier. So I think the hardest part for me has been trying to vibe with these random people who are great people, like all of them. Yeah. But like, where's your angle? Like where do you go? Like, what do you say to these people you've never met in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's definitely a lot of just conversational flow that like when you talk to the same people all the time, you kind of know like when they're wrapping up, when you can jump in and transition. You know, so when you're Dude, doing a show,
that's the hardest thing for me. Holy shit. Yeah. I'm so bad at it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're doing a show just like you and Danny, and you've done this, you know, for a while, you're like, okay, I know when to pitch it to Danny and he's going to pitch it back to me. Dude, but you always have that third person that's new.
No, dude, ask Danny. Like that is the part I am worse at. I get so like wrapped up in like, I have like 3D chess, like 15 questions ahead. I'm ready to go. And I just don't shut the fuck up about it. And like, Danny's like, oh, I kind of wanted to ask some stuff. So I'm like, how am I supposed to tell when people involved? Like, I don't know, look for normal human like fucking notifications that someone else wants to talk, and that's a blind spot for me, is that I don't give anyone else room to breathe or talk, and it's like a tough thing, and it's I think something I'm thankful for Graham.
I think you're probably being a little bit hard on yourself here.
But dude, what's something I'm thankful for Graham over the last 6 months is like that's something I've learned is like holy shit, I took over like so much. And kind of like pulling back and what to do on that. But yeah, dude, of course I'm hard on myself. It's like, it's what I do. It's the fun part.
Well, you shouldn't be.
No, I love myself. It's good. I had a work the other day. I work a cool menial job so I can get a free degree. But there was a person at the box who was like, man, you're really good at your job. And I really freak out my coworkers because I agree with people. I'm like, yeah, I am really good. And they're like, man, you have a voice, you're a great voice. You should be on radio. And I'm like, man, you really want me to go into a dying industry? And there was like that 1-2 second pause in between me saying it and them laughing at it where I'm like, oh, I fucked up bad. But luckily they laughed and I didn't fuck up.
If they laugh, I have multiple podcasts.
Why is that, Seth?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That was John's response to you should get into radio. He's like, don't you know I have multiple podcasts?
There are literally
who I am?
Dozens of people that listen to 2 of my things.
Exactly.
Seth, speaking of other things, you still maintain other things, kind of like halfway through Redacted Boys and kind of moving into the frontline stuff. You started or you rebranded your YouTube channel and you have Seth the Mad Dok, and now you're one of the preeminent orc YouTubers out there.
Preeminent.
That's a strong term.
It is. It's a great word, too. I use the dictionary and everything. Keep talking while I pull up a thesaurus.
Yeah. So we started a YouTube channel for the old podcast, and I was really the only one that produced content for it. And so after like, I don't know, maybe a year of it being the podcast YouTube, I was like, I mean, no one else is producing content for this. All my content is just orcs. Let's just rebrand it into the orc stuff because it's all we're talking about. So that's what I did. And then at the same time, and this is before we were approached to do signals, I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I want to try to like really get a good schedule. I talked to, you might know him. He's kind of famous. His name's Phil. He used to live in Alaska.
The glacial nerd. I know him well.
The nerd guy.
The guy with the blonde hair.
Iceberg Geek.
Yeah, Iceberg Geek. Yep, exactly.
He says,
got it.
Boo. That's what he's
Yeah,
famous
boo.
for.
It's really sad. It's very pessimistic. He's the most
Yeah.
pessimistic
Boo.
person I know.
He rolls a
Just whenever
one.
his opponent rolls well, he's like,
Boo.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I
There's
decided
another
to do.
bit. There's another bit, Danny. Evil Phil. And only 3 people will get it, but it'll be fucking funny
Mega
for those
Phil.
3 people. Yeah, anyway, sorry, you decided to do.
I decided to do a video a week and stick to that schedule, and then picked up Signals and did a show a week. So that's been a lot, producing both of those.
Yeah.
So I actually, the video I filmed this week, I was like, like, what's the plan for the channel for the next year? I was like, I might scale back how much I produce just to try to do better quality than I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Because I used to be able to do, like, I'm going to sit down and put models on the table and show people, like, this is how you should move this army. And now I'm just like, I don't have time for that. I'm going to go set my camera up in my hobby room, talk for 5 minutes.
How is the burnout? Like, okay, so Mob Rules has been going on for about 5 years now. We've been doing weekly content for 6 months now.
Yeah.
How bad is that? Holy shit, get this fucking rule book away from me. I want to hear none of it. There's like certain, like, I've had weeks where I would know nothing of 40K if it wasn't for like 2 communities I'm a part of.
I don't get the hobby burnout as much. Like, I certainly, like, I'll lose interest in an army. Like, in particular, like, orcs are probably not going to get any new content for the rest of this edition. So if they get, like, really left behind in the dust, I could certainly see myself getting kind of burned out on them and just want to play something different for a bit. But, like, I don't get burned out on the hobby, and that's just my personality trait. Like, I legitimately spend probably 6 to 8 hours a day thinking about this crap. If I didn't even have it, like, the podcasts are just a chance for me to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that being said, I'm here saying I don't get burnt out. You might be talking to me in 2 months where I'm like, I quit everything and I went and became a hermit.
For sure.
And,
According to thesaurus.com, you don't get nervous prostration. So that's really impressive.
That's an impressive set of words.
Yeah. Yeah. No derangement or neurosis from there.
Yeah.
We thesaurus.com, please sponsor us. We'll sell out for, like, literally anything. But yeah, so you talked to Phil. You were like, I have this release schedule now. Now I have to create content twice a week until death, much like Disney does with Star Wars and Marvel. Mm-hmm. And you've been pretty successful about it. You built a pretty good community there.
Yeah, we did. The channel, I think, more than doubled in size in terms of subscribers in the last year. And so then I was asking them, like, just in the comments, like, what do you guys want? Like, and they wanted a Discord, which I thought was, like, to be honest, I thought that was silly because I was like, man, there's like 3 million Discords. Why do we need another Discord? And they're like, no, we want an orc specific competitive Discord. And I was like, okay. And there's like 350 members in it. Like, it's very full.
I mean, I'm in it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I'm in it as well.
Okay, 349. Give me a second. Let me a few clicks. 300. Where's Danny?
Wow.
Boot him from that.
Villa K. Yeah.
Fucked up.
So yeah, but it's active every day. I mean, there's guys posting while we're in the show. They're posting and talking about lists and ideas and painting. So that's been cool. That's pretty much taken on a life. I had to get moderators because I was like, there's a lot of crap in here and I can't read all of it because I'll wake up in the morning and there's like 200 messages and I'm like, no, sorry, just no. So yeah, that's been cool. The community's really kind of become self-sustaining and I'm just the monkey that dances for it some days.
Nice.
That's awesome. What do you think your biggest learning has been since you've started kind of this, like, frequent content, where, like, you've either improved as a player or kind of as a content creator? Kind of where was your biggest aha moment over the past year?
Do you guys have aha moments?
Hell yeah. Like I remember there was one time.
I laugh all the time, Seth.
There was like a time we were doing, like, after I think 5 or 6 weeks of Grimm, I was like, a light bulb went off. I'm like, okay, this is what it is. Because, there was very broad strokes of what it should be. And then after every episode, I was like, well, okay, we could maybe try something, maybe do this and everything. But, like, after about a month and a half or so, we're like, oh, okay, this is it. Like, that was a light bulb moment for me. What was that for you?
So it was not on any 40K stuff, actually, where my aha moment occurred. Because I'm a masochist, I do another podcast for the professional organization that I'm a part of for avian vets. And I did it's an interview-based show, and I did an interview of someone else talking about their research. And when we got done, like, recording it, they were like, you're really good at this. And I'm like, am I? They're like, yeah, like, I would pay you to do this. And I was like, really?
Can you?
Like, so, I guess kind of when I got out of the bubble that we exist in, kind of in, because we talk amongst ourselves, we talk to a bunch of people that are other content producers. So I don't know that we get that outside perspective of, okay, yeah, and now I'm just going to talk to someone that normally doesn't do this on a weekly or every other week basis. And they're like, you're good at this. You're organized and you float well. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's just what we do on a normal week for us. So that was my aha moment, I guess, was stepping outside of our bubble into another bubble and people being like, that's not a normal set of skills.
And being that you're in real America right now, you've been to a ton of events this year, both Frontline GW.
The continental United States, you might say?
Contiguous United States.
You're fucking right, Seth. You know that.
For people listening to the audio, which is the only version of this, Danny rolled his eyes so hard he was able to spot the assassins behind him.
Baiting son of a bitch.
How has it been since you've bought in? Because we haven't sold out. You bought in and being at those events and having people come up to you and kind of talk to you about your stuff that you create.
So the funny part was, like, I think the first episode we did of Signals was like the literal week of ACO. So like I showed up to ACO and no one knew who the hell I was, because they're like, well, we didn't watch Signals this week. And I was like, oh, well,
who the fuck watches Signals?
Now.
Are you where Reese talks to a wall for 30 minutes then hangs up?
Let me explain to you who I am.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that the first time, but I get a lot of folks that know me from the orc stuff and they'll come up and say hi, or I've had people come up and be like, hey, I'm not into orcs, but my friend super is, and you watch your channel, can I get like, a sticker or a picture or whatever? And like one guy from the Team Texas group actually did a video of me. He's like, you need to call my friend a git for not being here. So that, yeah, I got a lot of that stuff. And then it was like the New Orleans event for FLG was the first one I went to after I'd been doing Signals for a while. And yeah, there was definitely the guys like, oh yeah, we love you and Kicker, which is where Shrek and Donkey came from. Because that's when they started calling us Shrek and Donkey.
Which one are you?
I'm Shrek, and that's not the first time in my life I've been called Shrek.
Would that make Kicker Farquaad?
No.
He's
Donkey.
I think he's more Puss in Boots, to be honest.
So fun story. When my wife and I first met and started dating, her roommates would call us Shrek and Fiona.
Oh man.
So it's not the first time I've been called Shrek. So I was like,
your poor wife.
It's true.
It's true.
She actually's like still mad at them for that. Like I mentioned it today because we got the artwork back for the stickers, and I was like, "Do you want me to make one with you and me and Shrek and Fiona?" She was like, "I'm still mad at those people." I was like, "I didn't care. I thought it was funny."
Yeah, Danny, I think our sticker should be, it's a lot of fucking TVs, deal with it, and then just Frontline Gaming on the bottom, just like official logos and everything. And we'll leave one at every table, and it's official. Because they're just there.
Put them on the mat so people have to see it when they play.
Yeah, and when they buy them discounted after LVO, they're stuck on there because it's a real high quality adhesive.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Maybe we could slip in on the digital files for some of these mats when they get printed. So
no, get it on the pre-printed terrain.
Yeah,
guys, moving on to that, like I know as we're sort of wrapping up here, dude, that pre-printed terrain is fucking insane. Seth, you've seen a bunch of it in real life, both the weird Gothic cathedral with the two big center building and the orc stuff there. Yeah. What's it like in person?
I'm going to tell you, they know their mark. I walked into New Orleans and I was sitting down talking to someone, and Leo walks over with the new orc terrain and puts it down in front of me, and he's like, "Here it is, Seth. It'll be up for pre-order." And I was just like, "Just put me down for one." It's really nice. It's really good looking stuff. I particularly because I have a set of the orc stuff that's not pre-printed, and I tell you, I really hate painting terrain. Like, dude, it's the worst. I can get into painting. I painted a lot of orcs. I hate painting terrain. That's the only thing I've ever commissioned in my life. Was I was just like, I got a bunch of terrain that I like. How much to paint it? And I got a good price, and I was like, sold, and sent it off because I just can't. Like every time I sit down to paint terrain, I'm like, well, I'm only really using the terrain at my house. It's just me and my sparring partner. Like,
who you infected with a deadly disease? He
got it somewhere else. I had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I did definitely have a vial of it that I shot through his window.
You didn't shoot it. You used a bird delivery system. We've already been through this.
Okay, fair enough. So every time I sit down and think about, like, when I'm like, but if I could spend that time painting a model that I could take to events, or take out to the game store. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So yeah, every time. So I hate painting terrain. So the fact that it comes out and once you build it, and that stuff builds up pretty quick too. And then you're just like, cool, it's done. It goes on the table and it looks pretty damn good.
That's pretty cool.
It's amazing. We're very proud of you. I don't know.
Proud of me for the thing they did that I have nothing to do with.
No,
Thank
you literally told us off air it was all your idea.
Oh, yes,
and you're going to be selling it out of the back of your car at LVO. That was.
Oh, I know. I'm going to be stealing it at LVO. I've tried to get Kicker to agree that if I won a specific game that I got the orc terrain, and he said I had to get Frankie. So I got to corner Frankie at LVO.
Of course. When Reese and Frankie are at their least busiest during the largest event in the world.
Exactly.
It's
Open to speaking to.
It's the best time to corner them and ask them for free stuff.
Really make sure to do it during one of the breaks that's
90%
provided by BCP.
Pause. All right. What's the betting? What's the over and under of Reese and Frankie recognizing any of us?
0. Okay, fun story about this. So I was supposed to go to the Las Vegas team tournament. It ended up not happening for several reasons. But our buddy Tim went down. And I was like, hey, man, while you're there, pick up the objective markers for me. I'd ordered a set of the objective markers. And he picks them up. And he was like, yeah, I'm picking this up for my friend John. He does this and this and this. And Reese's exact words were, oh, yeah, I miss those fools. Let me tell you how many direct conversations I've had with Reese. 1. Let me tell you, that exact conversation was a recorded episode of Grim After Dark.
You guys bonded a lot in that show, didn't you?
Yeah, so much because it was recorded after the LVTT. But that's okay. Yeah, so it'll be, dude, it's going to be super weird. I'm kind of weirded out by going down. I'm excited to go down and see everyone again.
I still want to know what our press badges are going to be.
Oh, dude, okay, a little inside baseball. Dude, this has all been inside baseball here. But there was talk from Kicker, who is our frontline gaming liaison, that there will be media passes and you're only allowed to record with a media pass. Now, Seth, obviously Frontlines, Danny and I do Grim After Dark for Frontline. We also have like Seth the Mad Dok on YouTube. We have Mob Rules here. So we need to get these media passes and they better be bitching. I'm talking like hot pink, white letters, like seen from space, maybe LEDs. Seth, what is your dream media pass?
I think really I want one that has a sound system built into it so we can just play some ambient music.
Strong.
And maybe, John, for yours, could we get something that maybe allows you to have certain line privileges?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, dude, that's
how cut in front of Nick Nanavati.
How crazy has this year? Okay, so how crazy this year has been is I actually had a conversation with Nick Nanavati about that joke. And it went about as well as you think it would be because he talked to me about it. And his response was, I only heard about this yesterday. And this was a good year and a half after I've had it. So that was both good for me because it was very humbling as you realize I don't fucking matter. But now moving out there. Yeah.
You matter in our hearts.
If I get a press pass, I'm going to use it to take pictures of dudes' butt cracks while they're playing games like that Magic guy.
And
did you not know that I did that already?
Evil.
I already did that.
And that's
at the GW New Orleans event.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Bam, Hunter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I might have got him.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Good times. Danny, we're getting ready to wrap this up. We got to talk about our pubes for a second afterwards here. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Seth before we get going?
Oh yeah, okay. So speaking of pubes, man, your little goatee there is looking pretty good.
Thanks. It grew back nicely.
It did.
Your beard came in beautifully.
Got him.
Wonderful. You can catch Seth the Mad Dok on his YouTube channel. It's Seth the Mad Dok, as well as every Wednesday night, live at 9 p.m. Eastern on Signals for the Frontline on the Frontline Gaming Network, wherever all good streams are found, and Twitch. We will be back, Danny and I, in 2 weeks, because you bastards
2 short weeks.
You bastards bought enough product from Manscaped using promo code Falcon that they were very happy and want us to record more. So here we are. And like I said, cheers to 2022 and resolutions you can actually keep. How about having clean and shiny balls all year round? Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to save your balls this year and make the ball drop onto 2022 the cleanest and sexiest ever. Set your first New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code FALCON for 20% off plus free shipping because when you suck so hard at the game, your balls might as well be as smooth as your brain.
Life's a ball. Why not shave it?
Man, that's true. And it was meant to go really smoothly into the outro song. But as I often do, I didn't have the right sound queued up. So
so that's why we got a fucking thing. That's why we got the
in the grimdark future, there is only fuzz.
There's only fuzz, yeah. That wasn't a joke. Promo code Falcon. It really helps the podcast. Thank you. For Mob Rules, Seth, thank you so much. I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And fuck, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Testicular chafing at the table is no joke. You should definitely use either talcum powder or Manscaped's Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver to stop you having to drop like a little bitch at round 3 at a massive tournament.